Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in the chat while we were jamming out to the tunes. And yeah, I just want to welcome those that were here first. So, Kathy, first here from Central, welcome. And hey, Paolo Espion and James. And hey, Gladys, Jersey Shore, Lindsay in Cape Town. Yeah, say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. That's the part of the lives I find the coolest when you just see like how international the online teaching audience is, and where folks are from. And if you want to put in the chat where you work, that's also really cool. I love to see who's working with companies, who is teaching independently. And specifically to this live, I'd love to know who is still teaching with magic ears. So we're going to dive into what I know, what I think I know, and some tips for you, and just my thoughts on moving forward if you are with magic ears, as the sort of stars align to them probably wrapping things up fairly soon. Hey, Mary in Canada, always good to see fellow Canucks, and Saved by His Grace in Buffalo. Hey, Julie. Okay, cool. Yeah, lots in the East Coast here today. Hey, Benjamin, good to have you. Long time no see. Haven't seen you on a live in a while, I don't think. So yeah, what are you up to these days? Are you still with some companies, or has life taken a different direction for you? Hey, Gladys with Palfish. Hey, Gustav, good to have you. From California, still working with magic ears. Okay, very cool. Chime in with what you know as well as I get into things. I just want to say that this journey of online teaching that many of us have gone through has just been really quite incredible. And I think back to, as I was preparing for this live, to my time with the companies. And it's fun to go down memory lane and remember the excitement of getting started. And around the time I got started teaching online, I also started this YouTube channel. Never thought for a million years it would turn into what it has. And I'm, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still a small channel. This month, I'm very close to hitting 18,000 subscribers, which is mind-blowing to me. I went back in analytics, analytics of my channel yesterday, and saw that in my first year of creating content, which was around 2018, it took me 1 year to hit 100 subscribers. And then things kind of started taking off from there, which is, was so exciting. So thank you for supporting the channel as we hit 18,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching my videos, for coming to the lives. If you watch the replays, that's always awesome as well. Yeah, just for your support. And one of the best things that you can do to help the channel grow, and for me to continue creating content, is to hit the like button. Really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber. It's free, and you get notified of when I make new content, and come on here and ramble about different things in the online teaching space. And I really get a lot of topics from all of you, and questions that you ask me in the comments, emails that you send me, messages that I get on Instagram and Facebook. I totally love it, and it helps me to think about ideas for the channel. So I love being in the online teaching space, and yeah, putting free stuff out there for all of you. So please subscribe, please hit the like button, share this video specifically if you know of any Magic Ears teachers. Would love to have Magic Ears teachers chiming in if you know more than I do about the things that have been going on there. From what I have sort of been hearing from Magic Ears teachers, as I'll just kind of give you the backstory to my experience with that company. I got hired on with them around 2018, and I was teaching a lot with them. I really liked the variation to teaching with VIP Kid. I was a pretty, rock solid, diehard VIP Kid fan, but I saw the need to diversify, and Magic Ears was one of the first companies that I diversified with. I liked they offered group classes. I was able to make a really good salary with them. But in the end, I tapered off after about 6 months, and went, full swing with VIP Kid as well as Go-Go Kid, and, loved working for all of them, really, to be honest. And, with Magic Ears, I didn't teach a lot for them, but I started making videos about the company because I had my own experiences. If you're an OG to the channel, you've probably maybe come across a couple of my Magic Ears videos. Those were the videos that actually kind of started getting my channel moving along with subscribers because I was talking about diversification and just the need to have different companies in your back pocket in case things happen. And then everything happened, right? In August, all the companies kind of collapsed, and things went south. Magic Years was a company that kind of hung in there, and they were around and still are around much longer than I ever anticipated. And I'm not quite sure how they're able to do that, but they are. And I've been sort of trying to keep up with some of the updates. Although I'll say, as an outsider now, I'm not contracted with them. I actually went into the platform the other day just to see what was going on, and I was able to log in, but not able to open classes, didn't renew my contract, kind of have been tuned out of everything that's been going on with them. But I was reading some of their updates because I wasn't getting emails. So I looked in the message system there and got caught up on a few things. And I'll say that the messaging is very unclear, that things are very vague, and it's hard. I don't think anybody really knows exactly what's happening there. But there was an email sent out today that I'll just pop up here on my screen here, and we'll take a look at it together. How about that? So let's pop this up right here, and we'll bring out hello chat there. So it says this was from the admin there of the Magic Years Facebook group. No class during the summer break from July 15th to August the 31st. Dear Heroes, according to the policy, no class should take place during the school summer break of 2020. There will be no Magic Years classes from those dates. These dates have been closed on the booking page, and you will notice a reduction in expected carats if you had previously opened slots on those dates. After the long holiday, we expect students to be very eager to see you, so we encourage you to open as many slots as your schedule allows. Stay tuned on the teacher portal, and happy teaching. Well, I don't know about you, but to be told all of a sudden that you're not going to have classes in about 10 days, I think the writing has probably been on the wall for a while, but this is a little bit of a blow. And so what can you do? What does this mean? Well, this means that you're not going to be able to teach Magic Years classes during those dates. And so if you were relying on Magic Years, then this is kind of a disappointment, right? Tell me in the chat if you are working for Magic Years and how things are going. And then I'll switch into just some thoughts on things that you can do. Haven't been here in a while. Hello, Charlie. Welcome back. Diana, hello from Canada, taking my Tesla right now. That's awesome. It's Nanette. Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey, Benjamin, teaching for VIP Kid, filling in the gaps with Magic Years, Fluent B, and teaching privately. Very cool. Still with Palfish in Spain now. Okay. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Kinga. So amazing. What an inspiration. So are you, my friend. Good stuff. Good to have you. Oh, I wanted to say what I've been doing this week. So today I started my summer schedule, which means that I took what I normally teach and I squished them all into 3 days. So now I'm teaching Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm doing 7 classes on each day. It was just like a great puzzle that came together, and all my students from normally I teach a little bit on 5 or 6 days, and I decided that I'm going to change my schedule. I encourage you to do that too if you can, especially if you're teaching privately. Think about how you can change up your schedule to just create some variety in your life. And, as things get boring or mundane, or you just need a break, this can be a really good way. So I'm so excited about this, having 4 days off from teaching so I can work on other things and pouring my energy into the 3 days that I have of teaching, which I am teaching more classes. I'm teaching from 12 to 2 Beijing time, and then from 5 to 6:30 Beijing time. So kind of lunchtime, and then a little bit before the evening time, which is basically the same time zone for me here in Thailand. So I really like it. Allows me to travel a little bit more. I'm heading up north on Thursday to I believe it's the second largest city in Thailand, Chiang Mai, checking things out there. And it's really nice to not have to worry about classes. So if you guys are doing a summer schedule, let me know. The kids are off on holidays, particularly in China, so good opportunity to do that. So what are some things that you can do? Well, around this channel and in my community, I talk a lot about independent teaching. And if you're a Magic Years teacher, specifically relying solely on those classes, there's no better time than now to start thinking about how you can move and pivot into private independent teaching with your students. I know that Magic Years does make things very difficult in order for you to get contacts and to kind of have communication with your students' parents. Um, but I want to assure you that they're not looking out for you in the long run. And I know people have different views on, breaking contract and doing those kinds of things. But I really believe that if you want to take care of yourself, now is the time to start doing that. And you've got 6 weeks here where there are going to be no classes, and you still have a couple of weeks. So I think this is a great opportunity to start getting your students contact information, whether that's WeChat or email or something else. Who knows what things are going to look like when they reopen, if they reopen at the end of August. I know that they're not hiring any more teachers. I know that classes are very low now, and many teachers are not getting a full group class of 4 students, sometimes 1 and sometimes only 2 students in those classes. So, I know that they're committed to honoring student contracts and letting, those packages that students have purchased get completed. I really don't know how they're able to do that under the regulations. I know that when I was paid by Magic Years, it always was listed as Hong Kong. So perhaps maybe their business is registered somewhere else, and that's how they're able to do it. But there's no time, no better time than now to be thinking about how you can take care of yourself moving forward, especially if you want to continue teaching those students privately. So what can you do? There's several things that you can do subtly to let students and their parents know that you're wanting to continue having communication with them. um, One thing I've talked about before, especially with companies like VIP Kid, was to first of all get WeChat. If you don't already have WeChat, make sure that you download WeChat, get registered, find someone who can help you get authenticated, and learn how to work WeChat. It's very simple once you get in there and start playing around with, the simple messaging system. Grab that QR code. And one thing that I would be doing if I was teaching with Magic Years and worried about what was going to happen later on is I would get that QR code printed out on an A4 piece of paper, and I would be putting it behind me in my classroom so that without me having to directly let parents know that I was teaching privately, I would have that QR code behind me so that parents can scan the QR code. That's something that they can do through the camera. So if you're not comfortable holding up the QR code in class, subtly put it behind you in your classroom, and that's something that parents can grab through a QR code scan from their WeChat, and then you have communication with them, right? Then you can start talking with them. We'll get into what things that you can start to do on WeChat with your parents. But start engaging with them in conversation. You can, of course, be completely direct about it and ask for them to add you on WeChat. You could let them know that you want to continue conversations with them, stay in touch with them. You don't know what the future is going to be, and so you can certainly ask in class if that's something that you want to risk. Of course, it is a risk. Of course, it is going against what is probably stated in your contract, but I really believe that it's important that we look after ourselves. You don't want to come back after this 6-week break, not have any classes, and then be left hanging dry, wishing that you had kept in touch or had ways of keeping in touch with your students. So another great way is to use a software like CamTwist or ManyCam before class and after class, or as you're kind of in the classroom waiting. You can use ManyCam and create an image that has your WeChat code there directly on it. You could have something simple above saying, teacher whoever, your QR code, and something like, let's have a great class. You're not asking directly to connect, but it's quite obvious that that's something that they're able to do if they want to. Hey, AJ, good to have you. Just took a week off, says Charlie, trying so hard to change schedules for kids, but never a good response. How do you do that? Yeah, so about that, I just went for it. So I did this during Chinese New Year, but I made what I wanted to be. I thought about what is my ideal schedule that I would want to teach during these 3 days. I made it. I took a screenshot of it. I put it in my parent group for Eagle Star English, which is my independent teaching company. And I just said, let me know in DMs what time slots you would like. So, that's, and it worked out really well. I had nobody give me any grief about that. And it's because I kept a few slots during the normal times that I teach, so that those kids that wanted to keep those evening slots were able to do that. But otherwise, it worked out really well. And some really appreciate having the option to do classes in the morning or in the early afternoon. So Gustav, I use ManyCam. There you go. Yeah, so that's a great way. Drop a pic in a corner, low key. Yeah, absolutely, super low key. Or as a white wallpaper while I wait to start the class. Yeah, that's a great way as well. Look, so many of you watching. We got almost 40 people here. Please hit the like button and let me know if you're a Magic Years teacher and what you know about what's going on there. Because I was getting some intel from a few teachers over the last few days as I was preparing for this. Now, somebody would have to let me know how Magic Years does feedback now. That was another way that was a strategy for some of the companies where you gave written feedback to leave and drop your communication, your email address or your WeChat ID, so that you could stay in touch with them. So yeah, I'm not sure, but if you're still doing written feedback, that's also an option. And let me just say that I understand that it's a little uncomfortable to ask for communication, and it feels maybe a little bit direct, especially if you don't know the parents. But I would, I know with Magic Years, a lot of the students are brand new students to you, but if you're wanting to teach independently, one of the best things that you can do to get yourself started is to generate as many leads as you can into your WeChat account. Funnel them into WeChat so that you can create groups and start having conversations. I would be asking parents, once you get them off of a platform, ask them about what they enjoyed about Magic Years. Why did they choose Magic Years over other companies? And what are some of the goals for their child for learning English? This is a great conversation starter. One of the interesting facets of Magic Years was their group class situation, and they really wanted to market classes to students in different demographics, not just tier 1 cities with high income families, but they wanted to reach those tier 3 cities where families couldn't afford higher prices for companies like VIP Kid, etc. They were able to access the Magic Years classes because they were much cheaper. And so that lends me to discuss a little bit with you about the opportunity to offer group classes to your Magic Years students who are probably not used to paying high rates, and maybe a lot of us that are charging $45, $50+ per hour, it might be not something that they can afford. And I think that summertime, especially right now, is a great way to introduce that to them, to offer, $10 to $15 per student. You get 4 or 5 students in a class. You're making all of a sudden $50 an hour, and you're able to offer a similar group type of class experience with them. I suggest a platform like ClassIn to do that with. If you're just looking for something simple, you can have up to 3 students with the free version, and of course more with the pro, or just go with something really simple and straightforward like Zoom, where you can have multiple students in there. If you're looking for curriculum, I've got resources that I'll link below the video here, as well as on my website. You can find lots of information about online ESL curriculum as well. And if you just do a Google search for online ESL curriculum, my blog post about that will be on the first page of Google for you to check out there. So those are some things that you are able to do. Ben says, Magic Year said in the Facebook forum the other day that each teacher's final experience would be different per their ranking, and as the package is finished, they said that the end date for each different teacher would be different. Yeah. So quite honestly, I wouldn't be, holding out for a later end date if you're a Magic Years teacher. I would be starting to put my ducks in a row if you want to teach them privately. And I always say the best marketing you can do for your business is to rely on referral marketing, and that starts with having 1 or 2 students that take you up on your offer. So big Sween, hello. I was in your last launch course, but I got too busy and haven't completed the course yet. Now it's my number one priority. Very good. And that's the beauty. If you are one of my launch students from a previous course, you have lifetime access to it. If you want to learn when the course is going to be offered again, I would love for you to go and head over to onlineteacherdude.com/launch. I have a unique, one of a kind, get started with online teaching business course, not just for ESL platform teachers, but for any teacher who wants to teach privately online, especially specifically with the Chinese market. I've really been in this space for a while, and I bring a lot of the business experience, the knowledge of starting a business, and growing and scaling and marketing, as well as making sure that you get everything in place to be able to get started. And if you've got a few students and they're interested in classes, this course, I promise you, and I don't promise a lot of things, but I promise you that this is going to help you get started with those students to get your private teaching business launched, and as well tips and tricks and strategies to grow. So it's a great community, and I'm really proud of those teachers that have gone through the course and have been able to build their own teaching businesses. Many are here right now as well. Thanks, Patricia. Hey, Grace, another former awesome teacher/student of mine. Thank you for saying that, Grace. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm sort of surprised that I'm still talking about companies almost a year now, 11 months after everything happened in the with the regulations. But Magic Years is one company that still seems to be hanging by a thread, I'll say. And while we don't know the end date, I really hope that no one is fully reliant on their Magic Years income. Please start to branch out and start to think about what you can do to continue teaching online, charging more, working less, and building something that you really love and are proud of, and that can be sustainable as well. So yeah, Magic Years teachers, where are you? Let me have a look in the chat here and have a look. Paula's Place. A lot of parents will ask for your details. Yeah, especially as things are ending. Like I would be just pouring all my energy and effort into that. I would be getting contacts and doing what I can. I'd be holding my phone up. I'd be putting something behind me. I'd be using ManyCam. I'd be putting it in the chat box. My feeling is that Magic Years is not too concerned right now with individual teachers keeping communication with clients of theirs that are no longer going to be clients of theirs after a few months. So that's my thought on that. Do you have any idea of how much parents pay for classes with Magic Ears? I don't, Gustav, but I have seen some images, and I'm going to have a look in our Slack community here and see if I can find that file, because I have seen those things shared before, and I'm not quite sure where they are. But if anybody can send me that through email, if you have it, if you are someone that has those what parents were paying, it's definitely less than VIP Kid, and that's why they were able to offer a pretty good hourly rate for teachers. I think I was around $25 an hour with them, so yeah, definitely cheaper though. But if I was doing a group class with Magic Year students that were coming off the platform, I would probably be setting up something that is around $15 an hour, so $7 US per class, and I would be getting 4 students in. That's what I'd be doing. So I'd be looking at making $60 an hour, or $30 for 30 minutes, basically $1 a minute, depending if you have breaks in there. That's what I would be starting with if I were looking at setting up group classes. Thank you, Patricia. Let's see here. iTutor Group. No, I have not heard anything about iTutor Group. Well, I've heard of them, but I don't know much about them. Agreed, Tim. Teachers have to start looking after number one. I took many students with me from several platforms. I feel no guilt at all. I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, they're not going to be taking care of you. If you were solely a go-go kid teacher, overnight they closed down. And what happened? It was absolute, mania trying to get contacts. There were groups with thousands of parents and teachers, and there was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Teachers helping teachers connect with parents and students, and it was a mess. And if they only knew a week before, then things could have been put in place to stay in touch. So don't worry about it for a second. You go, you do you, and you take care of you, because at the end of the day, they are not going to. Yes, VIP Kid asked me to just renew mine. I don't even know I think they said I forget. I just saw the email a little while ago though. I was with Magic Ears for a short time only, says Patricia. Colleen, hello. It was a nice company. It was. Kinga says, I think I might have something from Minji. Aha, 22.8 per hour for Magic Ears. Yeah, so if you're offering something that's $15, like you're already underpricing yourself, in my opinion. I think you could go for something higher, but that's probably something that I would mention. And yeah, I also wanted to mention that, speaking of Kinga, just a shout out to what her and Chris are doing with Xiaohongshu. If you are, in my world, you've heard of Xiaohongshu. If you've taken my courses before, if you're in my Facebook group, and King and Chris have put together a really wonderful Facebook challenge. I believe it's too late to join, but you can head over to their Xiaohongshu Facebook group, and I know that they would be happy to have you on the wait list to learn when it launches again. So, they're doing great work with helping teachers to market if you don't have any students, because that is an issue that a lot of online teachers are facing. They don't have the students. Maybe they didn't get a chance to get contacts from companies. And so they're, trying to build from the ground up. So it takes a little bit more legwork, but certainly possible. And King and many others are testimony to that. Colleen, Magic Ears just sent me a message saying there will be no lessons for the summer. Yep, I thank you, Colleen. You must have missed the first part of this. I did mention that I got the Facebook notification as well. So yeah, they're closing. There are no more classes this summer. So you've got a couple of weeks. You've got about 11 days to start generating some leads. So step number one, you want to get Wechat if you don't already have it. Step number two, you want to take some of those tips I talked about, get that QR code printed, figure out where it is in your app. It's not hard to find. I'm sure many of you have already figured that out, but it is really easy. Just go to the bottom right corner, click on, whoops, got some setting problems here. Click on me, and then you're going to see your QR code in the top right corner. Click on my QR code, and there it is. So you'll be able to share that, print it out, put it in your cam twist or your ManyCam, or hold it up, or whatever you want to do. But, if you're interested in independent teaching, it is possible. It is something you can do. And, with a few decisions that you need to make and a little bit of action taken on your part, you can set up your independent teaching business and get rocking and rolling. If you teach for Magic Ears, says Mark, asked to speak to the parent, and they then suggest they have classes directly with you instead, and cut out Magic Ears. Yeah. So that's a direct way of saying it. You could. I would probably go with a softer approach and just, get them into your, let them know, hey, I'd love to stay in touch with you. You can certainly mention that you're doing classes, but if you want to be subtle, I would be a little softer with it. But, hey, if that works for you, that's awesome. No worries there. Tutor ABC are okay at the moment. Cool. As far as them paying us, how can we get money? Yeah, so Daniel, and for others as well, if this is something that's kind of new to you and you're not really sure like how to do all of this, please join Going Solo Independent Teaching. It is a group of over 4,000 teachers who are doing this. I teach you in there with tips and with a really knowledgeable community how to do this. So please join. You'll search us, Going Solo Independent Teaching. I've got some guides in there that will help you with payments. But generally speaking, most of us use Stripe with a WeChat Pay edition that allows the parent to pay. It's very straightforward once it's set up. And please jump over to my channel after the live if you want to see how to do that. I've got a WeChat, a Stripe and WeChat Pay. So just search for that in my channel. You'll find it. I used to work for iTutor. For security, you need to become independent, get paid your worth finally, and stay with a couple companies until established works for me. Yes, very cool. Yes. Oh my gosh, is it the 4th? So sorry, all my American friends. Thank you, Kelly, for the reminder. Happy 4th of July, everybody. And I'm sure it's a holiday where you are. So sorry, I forgot to, I thought about it yesterday. I know that it's the 4th of July. I'm not American, don't live in the States, so I don't celebrate it, but wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. Thank you for that. Yes, Paula, I contacted all my parents via WeChat. So how's that going? What I would do, Paula, sorry, is I get, my eyesight is like god awful right now with the light glaring at me and it being nighttime, and A's and O's on the computer are like, they look the same. I would create a group of your interested parents and start sharing tips and tricks and information about your classes. So that's what I'd be doing. I have about 150 students on WeChat from GoGoKid. Holy smokes! What are you doing with them? You should be. Are you teaching independently yet, Daniel? Don't know how to get paid. Okay, so yes, that is a decision and a thing you need to figure out. It's not difficult. You set up Stripe, you get authorized, you add WeChat Pay within Stripe, and then you create an invoice, and it works like clockwork. However, some people have difficulties getting verified on Stripe. So watch my video. Let me know on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook and send me a message if you're having trouble, or you can ask in my Facebook group. We'll help you. It's very possible. 1,000 students. Well, you got lots of contacts. Are you organizing them into groups? That would be what I'd be doing. That's awesome. Grace says, great to have the ability to travel, leaving to take a bike trip tomorrow. Yeah, awesome. Heading up north to the mountains in Thailand, and can't wait for the cooler air and a little bit of a break. Moved all my kids so that I could work 4 days a week for the summer. Yeah, cool. You must have listened to me. I'm now doing 3, which I'm super excited about. So nice. PayPal. Yeah, you could also do PayPal. Just, they're being able to invoice them where they can pay WeChat by WeChat Pay solves a lot of problems, makes it easy. Everybody can do it. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, we had a good turnout today. Thank you for, again, as I said in the beginning of the live, supporting the channel. Hitting 18,000 this month and close to 20K is just amazing for me. And love all of you and just helping out and showing up with relevant content. So I want to leave you with an opportunity. If you've got a story as an online teacher, especially in the independent teaching world, if you've found success with something, or you've got some tips and tricks around independent teaching, whether it's with the Chinese market, but even more so outside of the Chinese market, I would love to have you on the channel. I would love to interview you, feature you, and be able to share your story. That's what I love to do on these lives, but I haven't been reaching out over the last few weeks. I've been traveling a lot and wrapping up my course in June. So I haven't made any lives with teachers in the last couple of weeks, but would love to. So if you've got a story, doesn't have to be a crazy success story, but if you are finding ways to make things work and you've got something to share, send me an email, timgascoigne1@gmail.com or tim@onlineteacherdude.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Online Teacher Dude. You can contact me through my website. You can contact me through my Facebook group. I will find you wherever you contact me somehow. So there we go. All right. Thanks, everybody. I see you, Mark. Send me an email if you would like to connect. And Daniel as well. Mentioned work for 51 Talk for 4 years when I was with QQ. Maybe we could find a solution for those students. Yeah, cool. I've had a lot of people reach out about that type of stuff. It's not that I'm not interested. It's just I kind of have to focus on things that are going to help me move forward. And prioritize. So I may not be able to help in that area, but yeah, certainly open to chat. So thanks, Mary. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody. So good to have you here. Don't forget to hit the like button before you go, and have a wonderful week. Whatever you're doing, if you're teaching online, taking a break, enjoying the summer, make it a great one. And I'll see you next Monday, same time, same place. Bye, everyone.